This is a Mixpanel growth dashboard built on live product data. Here I have custom charts for sign up through purchase, time to activate, retention by source, and much more. I generated this in minutes with just 10 prompts, and I'm going to share them with you so you can get more from your data. Mixpanel is great at collecting events, but the built-in dashboards hit a ceiling fast. You can answer basic questions, but the moment you want something opinionated, like a weekly exec report, a custom funnel view, or retention broken down exactly how you want, it turns into a bunch of clicks, exports, and workarounds. And the bigger problem is you're sitting on a ton of valuable data that never turns into insight because the UI makes it hard to combine views or iterate quickly. I wouldn't even know where to start building this dashboard inside of Mixpanel, but with Quadratic AI, I just asked for what I wanted and it did it for me. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to connect Mixpanel to Quadratic, then generate this exact style of dashboard from your own event schema using prompts you can just copy and paste. Let's jump in. First, connecting Mixpanel. This part is pretty quick. Go to Mixpanel, Settings, Project Settings, and your project ID is listed in the third line down. Write that down. Then scroll down to Access Keys and copy your API secret. Then sign into Quadratic, go to Connections, New Connection, choose Mixpanel, enter in a name for the connection, and paste in your project ID and API secret from Mixpanel. Set your sync date further back to capture more historical data, and then click Test and Create. After a couple of minutes, your data will be fully synced. Once that's done, Quadratic can pull your Mixpanel data directly into your spreadsheets so you can analyze it with AI, formulas, and Python. Now that that's done, let's open a new file and start building our dashboard. I'm going to be referencing a blog post that we published with all of the useful prompts we'll be using in this video, so check out that link in the description below and follow along in your own sheet. Prompt 1 is just schema discovery. Every Mixpanel project names events differently, so we start by pulling the top events by unique users. I'll copy and paste this into the chat and give it a second to think. Now we have a clean list of what actually exists in your data, so we don't guess on the next steps. Next, we identify which properties we can segment by. UTMs, referring source, device, country, plan, whatever you actually track. Properties are essentially the metadata that gets passed along with each event, so this step matters because segmentation is where the insights come from. A funnel without breakdowns is just a vanity number. If you want to understand things like which marketing campaigns are driving higher retention so that you can optimize your budget for more valuable users, or which personas based on your onboarding questionnaire actually lead to higher lifetime value, you need to drill down into each event and use that for the basis of your reporting. Quadratic makes this easy. Prompt 3 is where we start to get some solid understanding of our Mixpanel data. This proposes candidate events for signup, activation, and conversion, and it checks that your breakdown property actually exists on the signup event. If you've ever changed authentication providers for your app, have different definitions of what a conversion actually is, or just aren't sure of the exact property names for how you want to segment your funnel by, this prompt helps nail that down. Once the AI finishes generating a response, you're simply going to choose which events and properties you want to build your growth funnel around and submit that information. Once I confirm, Quadratic builds the growth dashboard automatically. And there it is, funnel metrics, funnel chart, and 6-month trends all built for me. It even puts together some key takeaways for me to read in the sheet. These are useful tips I can share with my team about conversion rate changes, how onboarding may have influenced activation rate, and some other anomalies to investigate further. Okay, now the rest of the prompts in the blog post can be used in any order. Let's skip to a fun one that we had trouble with earlier in Mixpanel, the retention heatmap. Instead of just overall retention, this shows retention by the property we chose, so you can see which initial referring domains in our case produce users that actually stick. This is the kind of view teams struggle to maintain in Mixpanel dashboards because it's opinionated, segmented, and meant to be reused weekly. You can immediately spot which domains have strong week 1 retention and which fall off a cliff. So now we can decide where to invest in more marketing content. Let's remove week 1 and any internal URLs from our calculations so we can understand this chart a bit easier. Right off the bat, I can tell that direct traffic has the best week 2 retention rate, but since we're interested in bettering our long-term user retention, the best week 8 retention rate is ChatGPT, so we should invest in more GEO instead of SEO moving forward. The best part about Mixpanel plus Quadratic is that once your data is in a spreadsheet, you're not locked into one tool's reporting model anymore. For example, you can blend Mixpanel behavior with Stripe revenue, so you're not just asking who activated, but who activated and became high LTV. That lets you answer questions like, which feature adoption events predict upgrades within 7 days? Which onboarding paths produce the highest 90-day LTV? Or which acquisition sources drive users who actually pay and retain? That's where product analytics becomes growth analytics. If you want to build this dashboard with your own Mixpanel data, I linked the full guide and exact prompts below. Just connect Mixpanel and Quadratic, run the prompts, and you'll have a working dashboard in minutes.